In a quiet Stoughton neighborhood, the sounds of India come alive in one man's basement. Welcome to Radha Rhythms, New England's only shop dedicated to repairing and selling Indian musical instruments. Radha Rhythms has become a lifeline for the region's growing community of Indian musicians and dance schools. Almost everyone comes to him, sometimes even visiting artists from India when they perform in Boston. From tablas to harmoniums, Akela sells, services, and restores instruments that carry centuries of tradition. For New England's Indian music community, Radha Rhythms keeps the beat going, one instrument at a time.
So, Akela Sahab, how long you have been fixing these instruments here?
This fixing of the instrument is something that you're born with. You don't learn this art. So I've been doing this from my childhood. So I was born up in Jamshedpur, a city which is very vibrant in musical arts. But at the time when we were growing up, we didn't have people that would fix our instruments. And I grew up in a household where the kids were all musicians, and I was a very mischievous child. बहुत शैतानी करता था मैं. And so subsequently my parents would tell me that you just focus on your studies and leave music alone. But I had to be associated with music somehow. So I became the tinker, or the person who fixes all the instruments for the various people there. And from there, that art just matured, growing up, and working with various personalities and various artists. And I've had the fortune to also, in this line, meet the best of the best artists from India, including Zakir Hussain ji, for as long as he was alive and performing in Boston, to every time actually fixes instruments. So the shop is actually called Radha Rhythms. The reason for the name is we have a temple in the house. We as a family are dedicated to the service of Radha Krishna, and we wanted a name that was associated with that. So which is why we called it Radha Rhythms, which made us very comfortable and also conveys, as a matter of fact, the concept of service, or seva as we call it. And there is a lot of demand for this. The first time I found out there was a demand for this was when different artists started coming up to me, and they started sending their various students up to me. And I was not equipped to deal with that amount of traffic. I actually had to start ordering supplies and such, and make it big. So overall, I want to say this shop as it stands today, in reality, even though it started about 20 years ago, it became a full-fledged shop about 10 years back, and with the name of Radha Rhythms, and servicing the whole of the United States.
So, what type of instruments you fix here?
My primary expertise is in tabla, and on tabla there is nothing that we cannot fix. We manufacture tablas and we fix tablas. Along with tablas, we also fix pakhawaj and dholak in percussion instruments, and we also sell the khol, which is what the ISKCON people play, or Prabhupada's people play. During the Shara, we sell the dhak, which is an instrument, which is a percussion instrument, which is very particular to people of West Bengal. And in the wind instruments, we service and sell the harmonium.
Right now you are fixing my harmonium.
Correct. That is correct.
So how much is the demand? It must be very busy, because
it is extremely busy. At the current time, I am backlogged for about 3 months.
So 3 months, people have to wait for you to fix. Yeah.
For people have to wait 3 months or longer for me to get to their instrument and fix them.
And you are the only one such person in New England area, at least I am familiar with.
That is correct. That is correct.
Excellent. Good. About Zakir Hussain, go ahead.
Yeah, so Zakir ji, whenever he would come to Boston, and the last time, and I'm very fortunate that his last program in Boston, in Groton, we had actually fixed his tablas there also. And every time he would come to Boston, he would look for me, and I would be fixing his tablas, tuning his tablas up for him. And it's actually a great thing. We consider ourselves very fortunate that in this line we get to meet the gods of music such as Zakirji and others.
And when did we start fixing Indian instruments here? And how much demand? There are so many Indian music students
So
and players
it's a
here.
very unusual story how I started fixing instruments here. And I was working a full-time job and I had no interest in continuing fixing Indian instruments till my children were born, and I myself got cheated by someone who made a subpar instrument and gave it to me. I got fed up and I decided that at least for my children I'm going to make the tablas myself.
Now, talking about your children, I see one, he's playing tabla here, and he's Sriram.
This is Sriram. He's my younger son. He's 16 years old and he studies in Stoughton High School. He's in grade 11 right now. I still refer to grade 11 and 12 because I'm not very comfortable with the junior and senior connotations that they use here. My elder son is in UMass Boston. He is being an undergraduate in computer science. He will graduate this summer and he'll be going off to Chicago for a job. And he's into music also. He used to play the tabla. He stopped. And for both my kids, I started here by making tablas for both of them.